welcome back to the channel. This is going to be your pick a card reading entitled What Makes You Attractive. Now you have a choice between pile number 1, 2 or 3. You can choose more than one pile if you feel drawn to. Now pile number 1 is represented by the rose quartz stone. Pile number 2 is represented by the green quartz stone, and pile number 3 is represented by the purple stone. I'm feeling like the purple stone is purple amethyst. I'm not sure, so I just always say the purple stone. But you can choose whatever pile you feel drawn to. Okie dokie, let's go on over to pile number 1 and let's see what makes you attractive. Okay, so you chose the rose quartz stone. I feel like I'm hearing you are the embodiment of love. Whether you realize it or not, pile number 1, you radiate a lot of love. It's what I'm picking up. You have a warm, soft center. Very gooey, all right? So let's just see anyway, what makes you attractive, pile number 1. So we've got the 5 of Swords, the King of Wands, the Empress, wow, okay, the Knight of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Cups. All right, so I feel like with you, pile number 1, you are a person whereby what you see is what you get, okay? A lot of people find you to be, I'm hearing like somebody that has got a lot of layers. Now you are an individual whereby you can have a lot of people that love you and a lot of people that dislike you. I'm also hearing the word hate you. Now the reason why they may hate you is because I'm hearing they're jealous of you. So you could unfortunately get a lot of people who just choose not to like you. You know, they may not know you well, but based off your appearance alone, they assume, is what I'm hearing, that you are one way. So they could put you in a box, unfortunately. They may feel as if you are deceitful, you are conniving. There's a lot of projections that may be casted upon you, is what I'm picking up. Now, many people could be threatened by your actual appearance. You could have a very commanding appearance with the King of Wands. You know, you can have an energy whereby it commands attention. So you are the type of person whereby whenever you walk into a room, you command that attention. You know, all eyes are on you. You are that main girl, you are that main guy, whether you realize it or not. I'm also picking up that you have swag. I'm hearing you have swag for days, and a lot of people are in awe of the swag that you have and your star quality. And some people are inspired by this. You know, you have many friends that may ask you for advice on what to wear, or you know, wherever you are, like if you walk down the street, if you go to work, if you are in the mall, for my American viewers, if you're in a supermarket, a shop, whatever the case is, people stare at you because you stand out for your dress sense, is what I'm picking up. You have an electric, charismatic energy also. So this is what makes you very attractive. Now, I did pick up that people can be jealous of you, and these individuals may also try and set traps for you with the 5 of Swords. And because these people are in that type of energy whereby they're quite manipulative and very threatened by your energy, because your energy is very powerful, right? Your energy is intimidating. But I feel as if you are quite oblivious to this. You're very vibrant as well, even on your down days. You're the type of person whereby even if you're down, you'll still dress up. You know, you don't believe in slacking off just because you're having a bad day or something's gone wrong in your life. You still try and show up to make yourself feel good. For you, dressing up makes you actually feel good about yourself. You know, you're not really one to seek out outside validation to gain the attention or approval of others. You actually want to feel good. And what makes you attractive, pile number 1, is that you also help others to feel good also, whether that's by you encouraging them, saying empowering words, inspiring them, or just simply leading by example. And I feel like you are a leader as well. Some of you could be in positions of power. Some of you could be in a leadership role at work. Some of you could be bosses, some of you could be starting your own business, but there's something, I'm hearing the word pioneer, there's something that you're pioneering in, and there's also something about you that's very distinct. A lot of people come to you for wise counsel. We got the Hierophant card right here. So a lot of people do see you as someone that has a lot of wisdom, someone that has lived many lives. Now, you are the type of person whereby how you look is not how you actually act. So those that are fortunate enough to get to know you, they are taken aback by your wisdom. They are taken aback by your authority, your spiritual authority. Now, you may have been through a lot of things. Some of you could be mothers as well. I'm not saying that if you're a mother, you've been through a lot of things, part number one, but I just feel like you could look young for your age. There's something about the way you look is not how you act. So again, you could be someone that likes to wear, say, revealing clothes or like bright clothes, or you could look like a baddie, you know, like those Instagram baddies, right? Or you could just look like, I'm hearing like the word suave. You could look like one of those guys. I'm just picking up Clark Kent. You know Clark Kent from the original Superman. Those that know, right? Christopher Reeve. You could look like that, right? I used to always think he was so hot when I was younger, right? I used to always say, oh, he's very smart. When I used to think someone was attractive when I was younger, I used to say they're very smart. But okay, so you could look very smart. Colin Farrell, Christopher Reeve, you know, that type of look. Harrison Ford. I don't know. There's something, if you're a male listening to this, okay, Idris Elba, I hear you. Okay. All right. There's one guy from Bone Thugs and Harmony. He's a hottie. I don't know his name, but you're very attractive if you are a male listening to this, right? And if you're a female, but let's just stick to the male. So if you're a male, you are extremely attractive, and people could assume that you're a player, unfortunately. So you may get girls that may be quite rude to you, or you may get girls that avoid you. So what you may have done in the past is you may have chosen, you know, females that you knew weren't necessarily on your level. And I'm not talking about in looks, I'm talking about in other areas. Like, for instance, you may have went out with a physically attractive female, but she lacked substance. She wasn't ambitious. She was relying on you for your money, or she always talked about clothes, and she always talked about money, and she wanted you to give her money. She wanted you to give her an allowance, right? There was always some sort of mismatch. And I feel like if you were a female, you may have had that same problem as well, unfortunately, because of your attractiveness. Now, I didn't think the reading will go this way, but I'm just going to go with what spirit, you know, says to me. So I feel like if you are a female, you may have encountered men that may shun away from you, and you may feel like, okay, how come no one is not talking to me? Now, I'm not saying you look for outside validation, but I feel as if you may have struggled sometimes in areas of love, and you may have decided to either A, be alone, or B, date people that you're not necessarily attracted to. And that's because those that were attracted to you, and they were as equally as attracted as you are, they were quite fearful of you. They may assume that you were a player, you were a gold digger. You know, you could have those issues, and it could become a little bit of a burden sometimes to be as attractive as you are, you know, because you are physically beautiful. And once people get to know you, they see that you have a heart of gold. But some people shun away from you because your beauty or your handsomeness is just all too much. And they assume that you are one way, five of swords. They assume that you are a player. They assume that you're a gold digger. They assume that you are manipulative. You know, you may get people projecting, you know, their past partner's behaviors onto you, or based off how you look, they just say, oh, partner number one is this way and that way, you know, even though they are very physically attracted to you. Or unfortunately, you could get people that you do date that you are attracted to, and they could try and humble you, you know, and that's because they are intimidated by you. Not in all cases, but let's get back to you and why you are attractive. I feel that you're very romantic, you're very sweet natured, you could be quite shy as well, but you are very romantic, and you have this way about you. I'm hearing the word shifty, whereby you hide a lot of yourself from people, you know, and it's a good trait to have. You don't want to just put everything out there, right? But you hide a lot of your traits, even when you're dating people, and slowly by slowly, you reveal parts and aspects of yourself, such as how nurturing you are, how kind, how compassionate, how considerate you are. You're the type of person that will like wash your partner's hair, cut your partner's toenails, cut your partner's nails, paint your partner's nails, whether you're a male or a female, right? Tend to your partner, bath them, or run them a bath, or cook them their favorite meal. And it doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. Tell them how beautiful they are. Tell them how handsome they are. Tell them that they look good. You like to make your partner feel good. You like to make your friends feel good as well. And I feel like with the Queen of Cups right here, you are a genuine soul, because you did actually choose the heart chakra stone, right? So you lead by the heart. And I feel like you have an outer exterior that is very powerful and dynamic and charismatic and magnetic, but within, you're very loving, you're very compassionate, you're very empathetic as well. If you are a parent, you are very emotionally, I was going to say, you are a very stable, emotionally stable parent, yes. And also you are an emotional person, is what I'm picking up, but you are emotionally present, is what I was going to say, because you may have known what it was like to maybe have an emotionally absent parent, right? Or even if you didn't, some of you had an amazing mother, some of you had an amazing father, and you wanted to do the same for your children. Even if you haven't got children, you will make an amazing parent one day, by the way, part number one. But even if you haven't got children, right, you are very compassionate, you're very nurturing, you're very caring. There's a warm, cozy, fuzzy, center that you exude, and people are drawn to this energy. People feel very safe around you. You've got many layers to you. You're very maternal, whether you are masculine or feminine listening to this, right? You're very seductive. You're very commanding. You're very powerful. You are a leader. There's so many layers to you, and you're very intelligent. People may come to you for nurturing, for healing as well, because you've got a healing energy, but people may come to you for wise counsel. Some of you could have, I'm hearing the word doctorate, some of you can have degrees, masters, PhDs. Even if you don't, you have a lot of knowledge, because you are, I'm hearing the word self-educated, but you also like to educate yourself. You could be, I don't know if people still go to the library right now in this day and age, but you could live in the library, or even if you don't, go to the library, you can have many books that you like to gain information from. This is about philosophy, law, religion, astrology, psychology, counseling, metaphysics. Did I say the word properly? Is what I'm hearing. But you are very, very educated, is what I'm picking up. And even if you haven't got the certificates to prove it, you are still highly educated and highly intelligent. People are in awe of your level of intelligence. And you could be a great cook, is what I'm picking up with the Queen of Cups. Very nurturing. And again, there's an energy about you that is very healing. So you may find that strangers tell you their business. Children smile and wave at you. Animals are drawn to you, because your center is very safe. Your center is very authentic, very pure. I'm not saying you're perfect, because none of us are, but there's a pureness to you. I'm picking up earth angel energy, and we have the Empress card. So you are beyond average in regards to attractiveness. You are very physically beautiful and very physically handsome. You do not need a lot of makeup. Even if you do wear makeup, it's just enhancing your already beautiful qualities and beautiful traits. You could be very voluptuous, is what I'm picking up, because the Empress card, she's very voluptuous, very curvaceous. Even if you're a male listening to this, you could be big boned, you could be muscular, but you're giving like masculine vibes, and you're giving like feminine vibes, very fertile, is what I'm picking up. And now again, even if you are a parent, some of you could have 3 children, but even if you are a parent, many people may want you to parent them also. Many people, like your children's friends, may see you as a mother figure. If you're in a relationship with people, they may, unfortunately, whether you find it's fortunate or not, but they may project an image onto you for you to nurture them and mother them or father them, right? Because you've got that caring and masculine or feminine energy that it exudes protection, it exudes care, it exudes love, compassion, right? With the King of Wands right here, some of you could be a Leo, a Sagittarius, a Taurus, a Pisces, a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Venus, North, South Node, or Lilith, or you could be a Libra, right? or people of those signs are very drawn to you. And I feel as if you take your role very seriously. So if you're in a relationship, you take the relationship very seriously. You take your work very seriously. You take your parental, you know, role very seriously. And I feel as if you are very self-expressive, right? So you could wear like loud clothes. You are the type of person whereby you may have your own style as well. You may make your own clothes. There's a very loud energy about you, even if you're very quiet. So what makes you attractive? Pile number one. Let's see. So we've got daring dreamers. Change the way you see, not the way you look. So I feel like there's something about your swag and your style. Some of you could have grey hair, and this gives you character. Okay, it's what I'm picking up. This is a beautiful trait that you have, a beautiful attribute that you have. And also, I love the illustration on these cards, but I feel that you are very bold, you are very dynamic, you're a free spirit, and you dress in that way as well. You could dress very loud. Even if you are dressed down, there's something very quirky about the way that you dress. You may like to wear bold lipstick. You could have big, beautiful blue eyes, long eyelashes, beautiful flowing hair. It's what I'm picking up. You could have a gorgeous neck. And I just feel like your words soothe, your words heal. It's what I'm picking up. Okay, so we also have, when darkness surrounds you, be the light. You are the light. Number 17. Yes, picking up strong Leo and Aquarius energy here. I feel like you may have gone through a lot of trials and tribulations in your life, but that did not harden your heart. And I feel like that is the actual beauty, part number one, because I know a lot of the times when we do go through a lot of dark times, it's so easy to be, you know, in our shell and stay in our shell and be angry at the world, right? But what good will that do, you know? And I feel like you've been through many dark times, and you've alchemized that pain, and you have turned your pain into purpose. And because of this, you're actually inspiring others to do the same. You're actually showing others that there is actually light at the end of the tunnel, and you are a light in a lot of people's lives. You know, your energy is very bright. So I feel that's the first thing, right? Because your energy is very bright. You lighten up an environment, the workplace, you know, your home, you know, wherever you are, you bring that light, you bring the vibe, I would say. But you also show people that despite what you go through, you can still achieve, you can still overcome, and you help to uplift others, whether that's you leading by example, or you actually sitting down with them and reasoning with them on a one-to-one. And when people hear of your story, they're like, oh my days, like, I will never believe that you've been through what you went through, because you don't wear what you went through on your face. How you look is not what you went through. Am I saying that in the right way? You don't look like what you went through, basically. Like, you still exude that love, that strength, that power, and it uplifts and it inspires others around you. Honestly, I love this card. It's so beautiful, and people feel so rejuvenated whenever they spend time with you. And I'm not saying that, you know, you must let everyone drain your energy. So you have to be quite mindful of that, because a lot of people can be very addicted to your energy. Okay, so let's see what else makes you beautiful. You are very cute. You are cute. You are cute. Now, some of you could look young for your age, and it's not just that. I feel like it's your mannerisms. Like, maybe you could have a cute voice, or maybe you do things that are very cute. Like, you may scrunch up your nose and look a certain way, or your outlook on life is very cute. Like, you may feel like things are butterfly, roses, unicorns. That you may have that type of vibe about you. You know, you could be very ethereal, like, and you could dress this way as well. But there's something very cute about you. And I feel like it's because of your nurturing qualities and the way you tend to others, the way you want to take care of others, the way you are compassionate and empathetic. It's cute. There's something very cute about you. Okay. You're very voluptuous as well. I did mention that. So if you're a female, you could be very voluptuous, very curvy, very fertile. If you are a male, you could be big boned, you know, very masculine looking with a big beard. Maybe some of you may not have hair. Some of you could have like red hair. Some of you could have ginger hair, but there's something very powerful about you. But again, you could be big in body. Even if you are slim, you have the curves in the right places. Some of you may like to go to the gym as well. All right, so let's see. So we've got, they are in love with you, but they need to love themselves first in order to give you what you deserve. So there could be someone that's actually in love with you right now, and they could be of the sign Sagittarius, Leo, Scorpio, Pisces, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Venus, North, South Node, or Lilith, or Libra, or Taurus, right? But I feel, again, it ties in with what I mentioned before, how people could be in love with you, or people could be attracted to you, but because they may feel less than, they may feel as if they are not on your level, they may sabotage the connection. They may not come towards you. They may choose to maybe date down. They may choose to not entertain the connection at all. But there could be someone around you that is very attracted to you based off all the qualities that I just mentioned. But they are fearful because they are on a journey, a self-healing journey, a self-love journey into loving themselves. So again, this does mirror back with what I was saying. It may not just be that person that came up in the reading. It could be many people that feel this way, that, you know what, I don't even want to go near pile number one because I ain't got nothing to offer. You intimidate people, and it's not your fault. It's because you are very centered within self. You know yourself as well. And some people could be intimidated by this, especially if they are very, very emotionally fragile and insecure. They may feel, oh my God, partner one's going to eat me for breakfast. You know, it's like, you know yourself, you're ambitious. That's another quality that makes you attractive. You're ambitious, you're powerful, you go after your goals, you're unapologetic. You do not ask for permission to, you know, achieve your goals. You know, some people might say, oh, do you think I should do it? No, you tell yourself, I can do this. I can achieve this. And you tell people, this is what I'm going to do. Or you tell people, this is what I've done. You could be a person that moves in silence. This is why people may feel like you're very sneaky. You don't tell people about your next move, and I don't believe you should. You know, move in silence, because what people don't know, they cannot spoil. So when you do achieve something that is, you know, epic, people are shocked. They're like, but pile number one didn't tell me. But why should pile number one consult with you? You are the type of person that people consult to, not in a narcissistic way, but you do not ask for permission to go out there and achieve your goals. And most of your goals are never heard of before. They are on a grand scale. They're not mediocre, you know, and some of you have not achieved these things yet, but you will, you know. And this is in regards to things that you want to do since you were younger. Some of you could be entertainers. Some of you want to own your own business, run your own businesses, I should say. Some of you want to be athletes. Some of you actually want to be a coach. Some of you want to be a fashion stylist. Some of you actually want to be or some of you are these things. Some of you want to be a runway model. Some of you want to be a singer, an entertainer. Okay, and you're going to achieve it in this life. And I feel like some of you have achieved something on those levels that I just mentioned, and people are in awe. People feel like you are very multi-talented. They thought one way about you, and then you shock them with another way about you. I'm picking up very Uranian energy. You could have like Uranus conjuncting your sun, or Uranus trining your Mars, or something like this. You know, Uranus is the planet of shocks and originality. And your sun is how you are seen alongside with your ascendant. But your sun is the core of you. Mars is when you take action. So that's why I mentioned those planets. But there's something very innovative about you. You are an innovator. Even if people try and copy you, they cannot catch up with you, because you are original. Your ideas are original. The way you dress is original. If you do music, is original. The way you communicate is original. Your whole swag is just on another level. It's what I'm picking up. So you set goals for yourself and look at steps of how you will attain them. It just ties in with what I said. Thank you, Spirit. So you set goals for yourself, and you make sure that you attain them. And you make sure that you don't tell a lot of people about these goals, because you just know people are going to try and out-talk you of these goals and say, you can't do it because no one in our family or no one in the area has ever achieved this goal, or that's never going to happen for you, you know. That's why you don't tell people about what you want to do. And you could be juggling a lot of different balls at the same time, and you execute all your goals. It may take you a long time, but eventually you get there. I'm hearing that some of you are going to gain legendary status in this lifetime, or you have got legendary status. You are very well known. You are famous in your field. Again, some of you could be bosses in a workplace. And you may have come from humble beginnings, is what I'm hearing. Some of you could be entrepreneurs, you know, or you will be an entrepreneur. Famous coaches, athletes, singers, dancers, creators. Some of you are going to be, I'm hearing the word likable. Social media influencers. You're very relatable, is what I'm picking up. Okay, so what makes you attractive? We've got steady progress. We acknowledge you for the progress you've made in remembering love in your daily activities. We can clearly see the contribution you are making to the world through your thoughts, feelings, and actions of love. So you are the embodiment of love, and you do things out of love. You like to pour love into others. You like people to feel good about themselves, you know. You spread love wherever you go. I always say it, like, especially if you follow me on TikTok, I always say to my TikTok fam, shine your light wherever you go, meaning shine your qualities wherever you go. Do not dim yourself, do not hide yourself, and also spread love. You know, it doesn't take much to smile at someone. You know, it doesn't take much to say a compliment to someone to make someone feel good, and then they will pass that energy on, and that's how the energy continues, you know. Same with if you're feeling low vibrational, moody, whatever, you switch on someone, they switch on someone, and it continues, you know. But you have that energy whereby you know that your time will come. So you may have seen people achieve things before you, things that you wanted, right? Or you may just feel like, when is it going to be my turn? Once upon a time, but you realize that everything is in God's timing. You've come to a point where you're more patient now. You may have been a person that worried a lot in the past, and you've come to a more patient state. Maybe because eventually you do get what you want, and you do achieve what you want, and you look back in hindsight and you may have felt like, okay, the reason why I didn't get this and that at the time is because this and that was happening in my life at the time, and I wouldn't have been able to actually appreciate it. You know, so you are aware that your time is going to come, and you don't rush. So if you've got a project to work on, if you want something, you don't take any shortcuts. You wait for your time to actually come. And you also encourage others to go after their goals as well, even if others are more further than you. You know, it just all ties back in to you focusing on you and focusing on knowing that whatever you want, you're going to get it at the time you are supposed to get it, and nothing will miss you. It's what I'm picking up. So you've got a very stable and patient energy as well. And that's not to say that you don't want things, right? But you just have this energy of in God's timing, in Spirit's timing. And it gives you a very stabilizing and patient energy. We've got innocence. So you always retain that childlike essence, childlike quality. I feel like you're very in touch with your inner child as well. You know, you could have a very youthful appearance, but even so, you have this way about you where you're quite childlike. So you may like to draw, paint. You could always be dancing. I remember my ex-fiance was very in touch with his inner child. He was always dancing. Anytime he hears music, if he's in the park and I put a tune on, he starts to bruck out. Or that's a term we use in Jamaica when someone's like dancing and really fully expressing themselves. He didn't care. And I loved it because I would do those same things, but I will do it indoors. Like if we're cooking in the kitchen, we'll both like play 90s R&B and we'll just start dancing. We'll pretend we're in our own music video, you know. It was fun times. But I feel like you have that quality about you whereby you are always in touch with your inner child. So this card says, beloved one, everyone is guiltless in truth, as no one can alter God's handiwork of perfection. Give us your feelings of heaviness so that we can lighten your load. Give us any guilt, anger, or blame that we may shroud. your loving outlook. Enjoy the peace within your heart once more. You have a lot of inner peace. And this is what I was trying to get at. I hope I was making sense when I was talking about how you have a lot of patience. So you have a lot of inner peace that is extremely attractive. You radiate inner peace. You radiate love is what I'm picking up. You've got reward yourself. So you do reward yourself. You do practice self-love, okay? You're not afraid to go and treat yourself. And the thing is, how you treat yourself is how other people then tend to treat you also. And I know some of you are feeling like, well, why did I meet that narcissist like 10 years ago? The thing is, maybe at that time you weren't loving yourself the way that you love yourself now, you know? But sometimes, unfortunately, even when we are, you know, loving ourselves, we can attract these dark souls, right? Especially when you are an empath, especially when you have a lot of light, you do attract a lot of different energies to you. So you've got to be mindful as to who you surround, okay? Because this card says when darkness surrounds you, so you could have a lot of dark people that are around you in regards to their soul, in regards to their intentions. And the thing is, you are very aware of these individuals. You're not, you know, susceptible. Maybe in the past you were susceptible, but you are highly spiritually attuned, and you have a lot of your guides, maybe one guide in particular that is guiding you, or two guides, but I feel like you have spiritual gifts, so you know how to swerve these individuals. Maybe in the past you were very susceptible to these entities, these low vibrational people, but you are able to banish low vibrational individuals with your light. And you may find that some people say, I don't like her, or I don't like him, or they just won't talk to you, right? Or they'll just avoid you. It's because your light irritates their demons. I know you heard that term before, but your light literally irritates their demons. So they have to flee from you. See how she's got the cage there and the cage is open? They have to flee from you because your light is, in their view, exposing who they are. Because these individuals may pretend that they're someone like yourself. But when you are around, when you know, exude who you naturally are, it makes them uncomfortable. You know, it makes them, it's like when a Dracula sees the light, they can't cope, you know. It makes them uncomfortable and they have to flee from you because you are the embodiment of who they are not and who they were pretending to be before you stepped onto the scene, is what I'm picking up. So you may get a lot of people that don't like you simply for the reasons because they can't be you, okay? So, and that's not said in a conceited way. This is what I feel. So we got reward yourself. So you do actually love yourself. You do treat yourself. This card says you've been given a lot of yourself lately, and it's time for you to receive. Make the time to reward yourself in a meaningful way. It balances out with you giving and then receiving. And it's very essential to keep your energy, mood, and motivation at a consistently high level. So you understand the art of giving and receiving. Maybe in the past you were a giver. You kept giving and giving and giving until you were drained. But now you're learning to balance that out with receiving. You're in a receptive energy. You're in your feminine energy. You're in your soft girl energy, your soft boy energy. And not to say that you're just taking and taking and taking, but you also give to yourself. You also treat yourself. What do I feel for today? I want a cake. I want to get myself some chocolate milkshake, or I want to get myself some chocolates, or after 8 chocolates, or wine if you guys drink wine. I don't drink, but I'm just like guessing. I want to get myself a nice Chinese, I don't know, right? I want to get a pedicure, manicure, whatever the case is, right? You know how to treat yourself. You know how to be in that receptive energy. And a lot of people may like to give to you as well. It's what I'm picking up. But you also balance that out with giving back, okay? Because you are worth it and you are deserving. Maybe in the past you didn't feel like you were deserving. And that's why you kept giving to the point where you were depleted, to the point where you were drained. And you may have felt like, how come these bad things are happening to me? I'm giving all my all. That's the thing. You were giving your all and not saving enough for yourself. Okay? I'm giving my all and I'm not getting anything back in return. Now, there are a lot of takers out there and they will happily accept you giving and giving and giving and giving. And they are, you know, individuals that felt like, wow, part number one's a hottie and I've got this hottie given to me. I'm going to kick back. I don't need to give part one nothing. This is what you were dealing with. I know I dealt with that in the past because I wasn't in my power. And I felt like if I kept giving to this individual that wasn't even on my level, energetically, spiritually, mentally, right? I felt like if I kept giving, he's going to eventually give back. No, 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 no. He kept draining me because I wasn't in my power. I didn't know my worth. And now you are in your power. You know your worth. Okay? You've been at the harsher end of the giving and receiving cycle that you were in, or some of you, hopefully not, you're in that cycle right now. And if you are, Spirit is saying that you are deserving, and you need to start giving to yourself. You need to start treating yourself the way that you want to be treated. And then what will happen is you'll start to see all those people that are not giving to you either fall away or they'll start matching your energy. Okay? But you do actually practice rewarding yourself. And if you haven't done so, you should. And I feel like by the way that you look, by the way that you take care of yourself, by the way that you smell, you know, you've got a youthful appearance, the way that you dress, it does exude self-love, is what I'm picking up. We've got blessing in disguise. What appears to be a problem is actually part of your answered prayer. You'll understand the reasons behind your present situation as everything resolves. Trust in heaven's protection and infinite wisdom to answer your prayer in the best way. You're very connected to spirit. And I feel like it ties in with what I mentioned before in regards to you knowing when your time is going to come. Because you're connected to spirit, you understand that what you want may not come at the time that you want it to come at. So you don't focus on anyone else's achievements. You just think to yourself, let me continue to work on me to perfect my traits, to enhance my abilities, and let me just stay in my own lane. You know, when my time comes, my time will come. And it may be disheartening at times, but at the same time, you just have that trust in spirit, and you just have that trust that everything's going to work out. And because you have, I'm hearing you are the eternal optimist, because you have that bright, positive outlook, and because you embody love for yourself, for others, things always work out for you. So pile number one, that's what makes you attractive. That's what makes you marvelous. That's what makes you one of a kind. That's what makes you beautiful. And I'll speak to you soon. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will connect with you once again. If you would like a private reading, holler at me. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Keep being the amazing you. Peace out. Okie dokie. Let's move on over to pile number two. Pile number two. How are you? All right. So let's see what makes you attractive. Pile number two. Okay, I'm picking up hard working vibes now. Very focused energy. 8 of Pentacles. We've got the 5 of Pentacles as well. We've got the Page of Swords. We've got the 4 of Wands. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm hearing humble beginnings, pile number 2. So I feel for you, pile number 2. I'm hearing the word rags to riches. Now, some of you are not in the situation that you want to be in now, but I feel like you are. And even if you're not, you're on your way to achieving great success, victory, and possible fame. Fame in your workplace as well. Some of you are going to become a boss or in a leadership position. Some of you are going to get married as well in this lifetime, if that's what you want. I do feel like some of you may have come from humble beginnings. I don't want to trigger you because I'm looking at 5. 5 talks about change. The Spirit is saying don't stay on that subject too long. But some of you may have lost a home in the past, or when you were younger, you and your parents moved from home to home. There was something that wasn't stable. Maybe you had to flee from your home because of an abusive parent or something like this. But I feel like you did not have a lot of financial support when you were younger, and people may have counted you out. And I feel like due to your hard work, your work ethic, your self-belief, you were able to achieve the heights of success. So some of you are in a leadership position right now. I also feel like what makes you attractive and what makes someone that's trying to come through in this reading want to marry you is because you're very loyal, you're very dedicated, You're very hardworking. You know, you could have juggled a lot of jobs. I'm picking up that energy. You know, the pursuit of happiness with Will Smith. You may have been in a similar position where you were working and you were homeless for some of you. And then you ended up getting a leadership position. And through this job, you were able to get yourself a beautiful home for you and your family. Maybe not to that extent, but there's something around you not being in a stable environment in your home life, having to move all the time, but then you achieving this role at work that paid a lot of money. What makes you attractive is that you are always educating yourself. You know, some of you could be at university. You're going to get that degree, I heard. But some of you could be at university. Some of you went to university, but you're going through a second degree. You're going for, I should say, a second degree. You could also be an investor for some of you. And you may like to invest in projects, or you could be a boss. You could be a manager. So you could be managing an artist. You could be a author, is what I'm picking up. So what is attractive about you, part number 2, is that your imagination is very attractive. Your intellect is very attractive. The way you speak, your curiosity, like you have, okay, JK Rowling, I'm hearing, okay. So you can have a very magical mind. So I feel like some of you could actually end up writing your own book one day, or if you're thinking of doing that, you may feel like, oh, you know, it's not gonna happen for me. Spirit is saying you should do it because your ideas, your wordplay is beyond genius, is what I'm hearing. And I'm also feeling like some of you could be songwriters as well. Some of you are studying law, and there's something about your debating abilities. There's something around your mind. It's your mind. You've got a very powerful mind, and your work ethic is unmatched. And I feel like a lot of people know your story, and your story is very inspiring. And it's like when you do tell people about where you come from, they are in awe because number one, they feel as if they were in your situation, they would have given up. And number two, they can't believe that you went through what you went through and you achieved all these things and you're living this life. So I find with you, part number 2, your life story is attractive. I know that sounds very 3D based, but it's your life story, what you went through and how you were able to turn things around. I'm picking up Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as well. Some of you could be authors, but there's something around humble beginnings, but due to your intelligence, due to your work ethic, due to your never give up attitude, you were able to break the mold in some way against all odds and have the life of your dreams. Yeah, so what makes you attractive is that you are very down to earth and humble, despite the fact for some of you, you could be on 6 figures, or you could have a very well paid job. But those that don't really know you won't necessarily know this because you keep your work life or how much you make, etc., private. You know, you are able to relate to the less fortunate as well. You may give to charity in private as well because you are very compassionate and you don't wear your wealth, is what I'm picking up. Some of you could live in huge houses, you don't have to, but I feel like some people didn't know the extent of how much you were worth financially until they may have come to a wedding or some sort of wedding that they went to, or some sort of engagement party or something like this. And when they saw the elaborate display of flowers or the garden or something like that, or the wedding itself, the layout, that's when they knew, wow, pound number 2 is Yes, never let a person know how much you make. No doubt. No doubt. That's from TT. I fully agree. But there's something about people finding out due to some sort of wedding or engagement party or something like this, and or a party in general. And when people saw the elaborate display, they were shocked. They were looking at you different, you know. Some people may have felt like, why didn't you tell us sooner? It's not for you to report about how much money you make, etc. But I feel like what makes you attractive is you could be quite quiet as well. So a lot of people are intrigued by you. They want to learn more about you. When you do talk to people, they are quite shocked. They are taken aback. Maybe you could have like a whispery voice or a high pitched squeaky voice or something like this. They're very taken aback by your intelligence, your intellect, your same thing, and how much other things that you can do. You could dress quite modest as well. You know, you could be very down to earth, very humble. You could be quite petite. Let's see what else makes you attractive. I feel like it's your mind and your loner-like qualities. You could wear your hair all back. You could have a fresh face. You may not wear a lot of makeup. There's a neatness about you as well. There's a lot of wealth that you have with the Ace of Pentacles. So we've got Madonna of Roses, 43. Some of you could be 43. Don't have to be. But I feel like there's an inner rich world that you possess. So on one hand, you could be very modest, but once people, you're very colorful. You may swear a lot. This is this is something that a lot of people are quite shocked by, but it's like you don't talk the way that you look, like the way that you look, I should say, sorry. You got very colorful language that takes people aback, but people love it because it's like, I didn't expect part number two to talk like this. Or the level of conversation that you have is so colorful. So, okay, put it this way. You could look innocent, but you may like to talk about what you do in the bedroom. And it's very explicit. And people are like, what? Do you know what I mean? But you and your, what you and your husband or you and your wife like to do in the bedroom. And it's like, I would never have thought, but you give people advice like, okay, you want to spice up your love life, okay, it's what me and my husband do, right? It's what you need to do. You need to get the strawberries, you need to get the Nutella, you need to get the handcuffs. It's that type of vibe, right? Or I'm just giving examples, right? I'm just giving examples. I'm tapping into your energy. I'm not saying I've done this, I'm just giving examples. But there's something very bright about you, and I feel like you could have two sides to you, part number two, whereby you could be very modest and so forth. And again, I'm picking that up. Something you do in the bedroom. You may like to dress up, or you could be a hard worker, be quiet, etc. But you may love the carnival. This could be the Notting Hill Carnival that we have in England. This could be the Trinidadian Carnival, the Jamaican Carnival, the Bajan Carnival. You may like to dance at the carnival as well. You could be one of the carnival dancers, and people are quite shocked. So again, all right, what makes you attractive is that you can dance, you can move, you can whine. You know, even if you are not one of the Trinidadian dancers, right, you can dance. You know, so even if you are poised, you are quiet, very elegant, I may add, but you are a party animal. I'm hearing you like to party and you like to dress up. So how you dress at work, obviously it should be different, but you could wear like a lot of grays and browns, right, at work. But when you go out, you wear a lot of reds, a lot of yellows. You're very bright. You know, your lipstick's loud. You could wear short, revealing stuff. When you're at work, you're covered up, arms, legs, everything. But it's like you have two sides to you. and people are quite shocked by the way that you dance, or if you may get people looking at your social media and they're shocked by how you present yourself, like, I'm at the carnival this weekend, or I don't know, there's something very loud about the other side of you, and people find this very attractive because you look very innocent, but there's like a rock star that you keep hidden, is what I'm picking up. So I do feel like you know how to have a good time. People are shocked. You may get people looking at your WhatsApp stories or your Instagram stories or something, or Instagram posts, and like, huh? I didn't know Paul number two can dance like that. I didn't know Paul number two likes to go out like that. Something there, man, and something there. So some of you could be a Libra, a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, or Venus, North, South Node, or Live, or people of those signs could be drawn to you. But there's a side to you, Paul number two, that shocks people. Yeah. We also got Divine Badass in reverse. So yeah, I feel like you've got a very fiery character, is what I'm picking up. So some of you could be in a leadership position. Some of you could be, like I said, a boss, a CEO. There's something like that. I'm hearing some of you don't want like your colleagues to see you, like your private life, which is understandable, but you could be a person that doesn't mince your words. You are an individual, I feel, that can actually cuss. You can fight, is what I'm picking up. But some of you may fight for work. So some of you could be like martial artists, mixed martial artists as well. But again, there's something about the way you look and people not necessarily put in how you act, whether that means how you dance, how you compete, how you fight. If you do it for work, it doesn't match with how you look. So it's a shock, but it's a lovely shock because people find this very attractive, so I feel like there's a hidden bad girl or bad boy that you have within, and it only comes out for work purposes or when you're having your downtime, like when you're partying, when you want to dress up, or if you are someone that does martial arts, or if you go to the gym. Some of you may go to the gym. Some of you may ride a motorbike as well, is what I'm picking up. There's like heavy tomboy energy here, but there's a flip side. You've got two sides to you. And again, it's something about your speaking voice. You're very eloquent. You're very well spoken, articulate, graceful. But then there's this bad gal or bad boy side to you that just comes like, what? But again, people find this attractive. Yeah, see, we've got fiery. So I do feel that some of you could go to the gym. You may post gym pictures up, or you may know how to box. You may know how to kickbox. You may know how to do karate, taekwondo, basketball, rugby, football for some of you. There's another side to you that people just didn't envision, but they're intrigued by it. And we've got trustworthy. So what makes you attractive is that you're very trustworthy. People can come to you when they're going through a hard time. And I also feel like people find you to be very safe to trust. Like if they tell you their problems and their business, you're not going to repeat anything. You don't judge people as well, right? If people are not going through a great time, you don't rub it in their face. You'll be surprised. I know some of you are thinking, yeah, that's standard, but you'll be surprised. Some people, they will like to remind you sometimes of a tragedy or a hard time that you may have experienced, just to humble you. So, a lot of people nowadays, that's why they don't really trust people, because they've been backstabbed, they've been betrayed. But they just know with you, whatever they say to you, you're not going to share it to anyone. You're not going to use it against anyone. You don't look down on others as well. You are very compassionate to the less fortunate, maybe because you have been less fortunate in the past. So you have this connection to the less fortunate. You are going to be successful in this life as well. And that's due to your work ethic and hard work. Because I'm picking up 10th house energy with the Ace of Pentacles. And the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. And The 10th house represents status, prestige, leadership, you know, being in the public eye. It can represent scandal in some cases as well, but I feel as if you're very private too. You're very private. You know what to let people see and you know what to hide. But when you do let people get a little insight into your life, they're very shocked, you know. You've got to ground yourself. When you detach from awareness of your body and the physical world, you become ungrounded. Although it's pleasant to float to havenward, your attention and work are needed upon this earth. We're helping you balance the spiritual and material so that you can enjoy a fulfilling earthly life. So you're very ethereal, I would say. You may look like a fairy, is what I'm picking up. You could have fairy-like features. You could have a symmetric face, just a very beautiful, if you're a female listening to this, you could have very beautiful features, like a little button nose, don't have to, large eyes, a small but full mouth, or full lips. There's something very mystical about you. You do have fairy-like qualities. You could be quite petite, even if you're not petite. You could be short in stature, but there's something very powerful about you within. Even if you're a male listening to this, you know, you could be very pretty if you are a male. If you are a female, you're very pretty as well. You don't really believe in elaborate stuff, though. That's what I'm picking up, and this is part of your appeal. You're not very loud. It's like you let your work do the talking. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm hearing Bruno Mars, don't believe me, just watch. And he's a Libra too, picking up strong Libra energy here. You have that way about you, whether you are aware of it or not. Don't believe me, just watch. So you may have promised yourself or said to someone when you were younger, you know, I'm going to be the best blank of all time. And they're like, okay, and you actually done it. You know, you're not mediocre at all. You are a big deal. You are a big deal. But you move in silence, though. You work in, like, how can I put it? Yeah, you don't tell people. You may tell a few people about your goals, and in their head they're thinking you're not gonna. Do you know what I mean? But you're just like, don't believe me, just watch. Despite the setbacks, despite not having the financial backing, or if you did have financial backing, there's something about your story that is epic. You went from rags to riches. When you write this autobiography one day, if you decide to have a film, people are going to be so shocked. But you've got this very grounding way about you, whereby you're, like the card suggests, half of you is in the spiritual realm and half of you is in the physical realm. And there's something very, like I mentioned, otherworldly about you. That's why people are attracted to you. They find you to be very mysterious, but also it's an animated type vibe with you. You could be animated sometimes in your speech, only to those that you allow to get close to you, because you're quite selective as to who you allow around you as well, which is a good thing. You're very protective of your energy, but there's a way about you where people feel as if you are unreal. You know, you have this magical quality about you. Earth angel vibes. All right, so we've got change in direction. It says the changes you're experiencing are divinely directed by your newborn willingness to open your heart to love and guidance. You are protected now and in the future, so follow your path to the happy outcomes you desire. You have a very positive outlook on life, and there's a energy of you just radiating calm and peace, which is felt by others as well. You've got a very soothing energy, a little bit like pile number one. You may want to go and check that out. You've got very soothing and peaceful energy, and you march to the beat of your own drum. And you do get downloads from spirit, whether or not to do something or not to do something. And You know, Spirit is saying sometimes listen to that more, because that's them trying to communicate with you. And when you do listen to Spirit, and when you do listen to your gut, which is Spirit connecting to you, that's when things work out for you. If you try and go against that, sometimes that's when you find that things don't really work out. You know, I'm hearing you were gifted from birth, is what I'm picking up. Yeah, I don't know too much about this, but I feel like some of you are not from here. Um, Whenever I see anyone that has got above average or exceptional qualities and abilities, I always say to my sister, they're not from here. They're not from here. I might even do merch in that, not from here, right? I don't know if that's been done before. I have to research that. But people like Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Serena Williams, Messi, the footballer, Ronaldo, Lewis Hamilton, these people, they're not from here. You know, it's like they're from another galaxy, and they were sent. Obviously, we're spirit babies before we incarnate into this earth. We're spirits, and then we choose our parents, and then we go through our lessons with that parent that we chose. And it's for our parents to fulfill, you know, their destiny through having us and how they treat us. That will determine their karma, you know. And sometimes they don't fulfill what they were supposed to fulfill with us, which makes us grow up to be who we are. And it's up to us as to decide if we're going to continue the trials and tribulations from our forefathers, or we're going to break the curses, right? That's another story. But I feel with you, this is what I'm picking up. You could belong to some I don't know too much about this stuff, but this is what I feel looking at this, right? You could belong, I don't feel like you're from here, basically. I feel like you're from another galaxy, and we're very gifted to have you. And obviously your mum and your dad is your mum and your dad. I don't want to scare you, but I just feel like your mum and your dad was chosen to have you because the qualities and abilities that you have is not your average, and they are beyond average. They are genius in whatever capacity you work in. And I feel like you've got many different skills and talents that just blow people away, because like I said, your gifts and your talents are not from here. Yes, your mother carried you. Yes, your father, you know, your parents conceived you. But I feel like you have certain qualities and gifts that are from another galaxy. That's the only thing I will say on that. Like I said, I don't know too much about it. So Spirit is saying, wrap this up, okay? But this is what I pick up. You are from like a planet that has other people like yourself, and you were supposed to come here to show us on Earth. These are some of the gifts, and like people from where I'm from, yourself, they have these same gifts and qualities. But to us, we're like, oh my God, like what, you know, but there's other people like you. I hope you're following me, but you are very powerful. You are very powerful. I'm picking up Uranus and I'm hearing Mars, but Uranus and Venus. There's some sort of connection with Uranus and Venus with you. So you could have like maybe Uranus conjuncting your Mars, or there's something Uranian about you. Uranus is the planet of shocks, changes, innovators. Yeah, you are an innovator. You are an original person. Whatever you are here to do has never been seen before, and it will never be seen again. It's what I'm picking up. I feel like you have to fulfill your purpose in this life, because you are here to make a change. You know, you spread love, you spread peace, but again, there's another side to you, part number 2. You may want to listen to part number one. There's another side to you that shocks, that is, you've got an alter ego, and it's like your alter ego is who you really are, but how you are in day to day is, I wouldn't say the mask that you wear, but that's how you get by in life, if you know, just to blend in. But the other side to you is the real you, but there's other people like you. Maybe you come from a very powerful family, you know, but yeah, that was, yeah. So we also have Cupid. So you do lead with the heart. We send great waves of love into your heart and mind, awakening your love for life itself. Your clear decision to accept and enjoy romance has triggered this reawakening. Allow yourself to spontaneously celebrate love in all of its glorious aspects. Oh, wow. I love that card. That's our cat, Love. We've actually got a cat called Love. And London, screaming down the place. Don't mind them because my son's already fed them. All right. So I feel that you lead with love. You are of love. Okay. And you've got this softness about you. Like your energy is very soft. It's very loving. It's very inviting. You are very selective as to who you allow around you. I'm sure you are aware of this energy that you exude, but you have many admirers. You could have people that are crushing on you that you are not aware of. But there are many people that do fancy you, would like to date you, but you may turn a lot of people down. You know, it's what I'm picking up. But yes, again, you do have this energy about you whereby it's very soft-centered, very loving, very genuine, and very authentic. We have life purpose. The purpose of your life is to serve in a way that brings great joy to yourself. So I feel like you are a leader, or in this life you're going to become a very well-known leader. A lot of people look up to you. A lot of people want to be like you. So some of you could be in the public eye, or you will be in the public eye. Don't worry about finding your purpose. Instead, focus upon serving a purpose, and then your purpose will serve you. Again, you have a lot of qualities, skills and attributes. So sometimes you could be quite confused. I don't know what to do. So I do this, so I do that. You could be very academic. You could be very great physically. You could be someone that's good with computers. Like, you've got many skills and attributes. The Spirit is saying you can do it all. Why fit yourself into one box? You can do it all, okay? And again, you are a leader as well. This is what's very attractive about you, whether you realize that or not. I hope you do. But a lot of people want to be like you. You may get a lot of people copying you, studying you, trying to, you know, recycle your energy. You may have a lot of understudies as well in whatever field of work that you are in, because they're inspired by you. We have, what do you desire? You now have the opportunity to write the script according to your heart's truest desires. Once you clearly decide upon your truest desires and know that you're ready and deserving of them, they'll rush into your life as if by magic. That word magic, you are very magical. And I feel like you are a master manifester, you know, so you need to, I feel, believe in yourself more. You may need to script more, visualize more, obviously take action as well. But you have so much, I'm hearing healing abilities as well. You do heal by being in your presence as well. People feel good whenever they are around you. You do heal them, you rejuvenate them, you uplift them as well. And I feel like you have a rich inner being is what I'm picking up. Very colorful, and these colors I feel represent your creativity. So you're very creative, and your creativity, it actually makes people happy. So you could be painters, you could draw, you may know how to dance, you are an actor, you are a sports person. There's just something that you do, or you could be a leader at work, or even if you're not a leader at work, the way you take your job seriously, the way you make work fun, even if you are in a position of power, you are not your traditional stern, ruthless, mean-spirited. You are very playful, down to earth. You make work pleasurable. And I feel like this represents your energy, all these colors. You're very colorful, and your energy uplifts and it inspires. And you, like I said, are a master manifester, but I'm hearing lately you haven't been manifesting, or lately you haven't been believing in your goals and dreams, and Spirit is saying, remember the things that you manifested before. You achieved it. Take those same steps, but you may have to tweak it a bit, to continue to visualize, to continue to script, or cut out some pictures and put them in a book, or download pictures from the internet and stick them in your notes, or whatever the case is, and work on how you're going to attain your dream, because you can have it all. You literally have the skills and attributes. A lot of people envy your talents as well. What makes you attractive, pile number 2, is that you are physically attractive, but you don't really focus on your physical. You're quite reserved in nature. You could be a person that doesn't really wear a lot of makeup. You don't really like to wear flashy clothes, etc. But you are physically attractive. But it's your skills and your qualities that shock. But people are drawn, addicted, obsessed with your talents, your skills, your alter ego. It's otherworldly. It's one of a kind. It's never been seen before, and I doubt it will ever be seen again. You're amazing. Who are you, pile number 2? I will speak to you. Take care of yourself. Keep spreading your light wherever you go. Do not dim your light for anyone. Stop second guessing who you are. You are the truth. You are that girl. You are that guy. All right. I'll speak to you soon. Peace out. All right. We're going to move on to last but not least, pile number 3. You chose the purple stone. You're very spiritual, aren't you, pile number 3? Very, very spiritual. Let's see. What makes you attractive? Okay, so we've got 3 of Swords. Not a great card to have. The Star card. 10 of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful. 7 of Cups. And the Tower. Okay, so you could be of the signs Aquarius, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, or Venus, North, South Node, or Lilith, of people of those signs could be very attracted to you. Now, what makes you attractive, pile number 3, is that you may have overcome a lot of heartbreak, unfortunately. But you have great healing abilities, and I'm hearing heal thyself. So you have the capabilities of healing yourself. You are a healer. I also feel that you are very physically attractive also. You've got a very bright aura, earth angel energy. You could be on social media. You could be a social media influencer. Or even if you're not a social media influencer, you have a lot of people that you attract, and it's because of your energy. Your energy is very abundant. Your energy is very healing. And I feel like a lot of people like to keep up with you, like to find out what you're doing. A lot of people are very heavily invested in your day-to-day. And you may be like, but I'm just me. You're not your average. Let me just get that out there. You're not your average. You've got charisma. You've got star quality. Okay. You may have had this when you were in high school, is what I'm picking up, but you weren't aware of it, and people may have bullied you, is what I'm hearing, because they could sense something was there that they didn't possess, but you had it. They couldn't put their finger on it, but they knew that you were different, and because you knew you were different also, you thought that you weren't like the popular kid, because maybe some of you were not the popular kid at school, but you still had something, that thing, whatever Amiri's talking about, because Amiri still has not revealed what that thing is, but I'm guessing we know what Amiri's talking about. But I feel like you felt confused about this thing that you had, because you may have felt like, I'm not the popular kids and I'm not like the geeks. So where do I fit into all of this? So you were a bit of both, and you may have hung out with children that were considered the geeks. I mean, I know that I did when I was like in college, because I remember going to college and all the girls wanted to fight me for some reason that I'm not aware of. You know, the whole class were coming towards me. I was doing a performing arts course, and luckily at the time my sister was doing the same course but was in another class, and I went to her and she was just like, she's an Aries Pisces class. She's like, what do you want to do to my sister? And they were like, rude girl, your sister thinks that she's bad, Jenna. Some girls from up south London, I don't even know what I did to upset these people, but because I was from Northwest at the time, you know, and Northwest was considered really bad. And because I said I'm from Northwest, they automatically thought I was bad, you know, and I used to wear different clothes every day. So, and I had a resting bee face. That's how my face was or still is. So they just assumed that I think I'm nice and they need to teach me a lesson for some reason. But I decided to hang out with the geeks, or because I consider myself as a geek. I still do, you know, because I never fitted in to the hot girls or the popular kids, and I didn't fit in with the, do you know what I mean? So it's like, where's my place? And when you're in that energy, you create your own lane. And I feel like it's the same with you. You may have felt like, I don't fit in with them and I don't fit in with them. So what do I do? Because you are a combination of the two. And I feel like this energy that you possess made you maybe isolate yourself in some way. And you knew to the core of you that you were a genuine, kind soul. But it's almost as if your light shone too bright for some people. And some people didn't want to be around you because they felt like being around you dimmed their shine. So you may have felt as if you have to be around people like yourself that are equally as charismatic, equally as, you know, magnetic, electric. But it may have been quite hard to connect with people like that. The only people that may be this way inclined, that weren't threatened of you, may have been family members and maybe partners. There's something very magical about you as well, the Seven of Cups. You may have a lot of options. A lot of people want to date you. A lot of people may project their image of how they want you to be onto you. So you could have like Neptune in the first house, which can be a little bit annoying to you sometimes. Again, you could look a certain way. Some of you could have blonde hair. Some of you could dye your hair platinum blonde. There's something very seductive about you, right? Very glamorous, Marilyn Monroe-esque, that type of energy is what I'm picking up, right? She had Neptune in the first house as well. Some of you, I feel like there's something Hollywood about you, okay? But there's something, I'm also picking up Kylie Minogue, that type of energy, like sex kitten. Sorry, YouTube. But there's something very sexy about you. But people just assume, okay, Pamela Anderson too. Oh, I get it. Even if you're black, you've got that way about you where you're very sexy. And I feel like people assume that you're just like one way. You know how Paris Hilton like pretended that she was one way when and Paris Hilton's actually an Aquarius, so that could be a thing. But you know like how Paris Hilton pretended that she was like one way in The Simple Life. I thought that show was whack. I didn't even watch it. It was just like doing my head in. I was thinking, what is this? But I actually do like Paris Hilton. I think she is a lovely person. Okay, her actions in real life have been questionable. None of us are perfect though, but I do actually like her. You know, she has got star quality. She's got a Leo moon as well. I'm not picking up Leo energy here. Just pick up strong Aquarius energy. But I do like her. So you could have that way about you where people perceive you to be a certain way based off how you look, but you're very intelligent. And I feel like you do have a lot of admirers, a lot of, you know, you could have people of the same gender that are attracted to you as well. A lot of people, you could basically have your pick and choose as to who you want to date, is what I'm picking up. But then when you date these people, they can become angry with you because you're not who they thought you were. So they may feel like, oh, if they date you, you're going to be in the bedroom all day and every day, you know, and then you're like, oh, you're in your jogging bottoms and your hoodie and your glasses and your hair's all tied up, and you're like, oh, I've got to do my work. You got your laptop out, and they're looking at you like with the whipped cream in their hand and the I don't know, some dressing gown or whatever they're wearing. They're thinking, but I thought, but you're thinking, what are you doing? Like, go and do something. Go and read a book. Go and watch Netflix or something. You know, I don't know. There's something here whereby people get the wrong perception of you. You know, yeah, I feel that's what it is. It could annoy you sometimes. I feel like what makes you attractive is that yes, you are physically attractive. You know, very alluring, very pleasing to the eye, and you're very talented. So you could be a great painter, dancer. You could move very well. This one's very sexual, your pal. It's very sexual. I feel like you could have grown up quite modest or like traditional, and you may have broken free from that. You know, I feel that what makes you attractive is that you have this highly independent way about you. You may not want to get married, or even if you do want to get married, you are the type of person that would like to have your own home separate from your spouse. You know, some of you don't want to get married because you may have seen your parents argue all the time, so it put you off. I also pick up what makes you attractive is that you may have come out of a very abusive relationship and you managed to heal yourself and you've had a glow up. Some of you are going through a glow up, or you had many glow ups, but you're going through your like most recent glow up, and you are attracting different caliber of partners now that actually want to settle down, that actually want to marry, and you have your pick and choose because you shedded your old skin of who you once were. You were a certain way in the past and you were attracting certain people and you were confused and you underwent some healing, and because of this healing now you're attracting bigger and better is what I'm picking up. I also feel with the Tower card that you're not one to mince your words, so you are a person that can hold your own in an argument. There's the energy of you being able to defend yourself physically as well, and people know not to mess with you, you know, because the Tower card is Aries energy, and Aries is ruled by the the planet Mars. Mars is all about taking action. So you may have fled an abusive relationship, trigger warning. Sorry if that happened to you, but you were able to turn your life around for you and your children if you got children. And I'm hearing for some of you, trigger warning, that whoever you were with was saying, oh, no one's going to date you because you've got kids and you're going to be divorcee or you're going to be a single parent. And now you've got your pick and choose as to who you want to date. And these are high caliber women or men. You know, some of these women or men have children themselves, or some of them don't, but they see your value. I'm hearing you are people's karma as well. Those that have wronged you. Let's see. Okay, two hearts, sisterhood, one soul, soul sisters. Okay, so what makes you attractive is that a lot of people resonate with you. You're very relatable. Even though, you know, with the star card, a star is hard to attain. You do have this star quality about you. But when you do connect with other people, they feel as if you are their friend. You know, you're very relatable. You're very down to earth. And some people may feel like they're your friend, but you may not feel the same way. And that's not in a bad way. I just feel like you're very protective of your energy. You've seen the harshness that people have hidden, but then unleashed upon you and maybe onto others. Maybe your family members, unfortunately for some of you, were very indifferent towards you. So you're not, you know, there's something about you not being susceptible to abuse anymore, you know, because you've seen the harshness of some people's personalities and how they could be. What makes you attractive? You could have a best friend or you could have one sister that you're very close to. You could be of the age 38, or that age could be very important. But I genuinely feel a lot of people see you as like their best friend, and a lot of people do feel a connection with you and want to be your friend, or they feel like you are like a sister. You know, even if you are a masculine listening to this, you are very in touch with your feminine side. And a lot of females feel like, oh my days, it's like having a sister, you know, or he understands a female. They could talk about female things with you without you judging them, you know, but you're very connected to other people on a soul level, is what I'm picking up. If you are in the same gender connections, your partner feels the same way. You know, you have a deep, rich spiritual side to you that is felt. So you're very spiritual. And I did pick that up with this stone. You're very, very spiritual. You could have big, beautiful blue or green eyes. Very dreamy eyes. And some of you have beautiful red hair, or you may have dyed your hair red. But there's something very potent about your energy, is what I'm picking up. Yeah. You have beautiful lips as well. We've got daughter of the Sacred Heart, number 8. You're very mysterious, but at the same time, you can see through people's souls. So people can't work brain on you, meaning that people can't manipulate you. Again, you're very spiritual. You're very connected to source and spirit. So you can read people. Some of you could be psychic. Some of you could be tarot readers. Some of you were granted this gift from young, and I feel like your experiences also strengthened your abilities also. So I feel like what makes you attractive is your spirituality. You have an ethereal quality about you, your eyes, your physical appearance. Here, your choice of work as well. You could be very multi-talented, very creative. You may sing, you may dance, you may play an instrument, you may write poetry, you may write scripts. You could be a social media influencer. Your pictures are very alluring, very engaging. Again, people feel like they are connected to you. You're very likable, very relatable. Your personality is what I'm picking up. So we have your circle is toxic and the people are energetically holding you back. So you can get a lot of people that get addicted to your energy and become quite obsessed with you. So this is one of the reasons why a lot of people could feel like you are like their sister or a brother or something like this. People could want to be with you all the time and drain your energy. And in the beginning, you may not have realized this, but then as you come to understand this, you know, were able to maneuver yourself away from people that resonate with these types of qualities of getting obsessed. And that's because of your discernment and your spiritual abilities. It's like you can foresee how something will play out if you entertain it. And that could be with romantic partners as well. And you're also able to warn and guide others about the pitfalls of life or certain relationships or connections or business connections that they should get in, because I feel like you are a psychic, you are a healer, you're a reader. And this is attractive as well, but you can get some people getting too obsessed with your qualities and wanting to know more and more and more and more. And it could be very draining on your energy. Let's see. Try not to be so disconnected from yourself to the point where some people will try and manipulate you and control you without you knowing. Do not give your power away and take back control of your life. So I feel like you're very powerful. You're very strong with the Tower card because you have experienced people trying to manipulate you, drain you, use you. And now you stand up for yourself. You speak out as well. And people could be quite shocked by this fact, because they could be so used to you always being a certain way. But now it's like, I'm not having that. No, I'm not doing that. No, I don't want to date you. No, it's over. You know, like it doesn't take much for you to cut people off, and this is what makes you attractive. You're very strong, and people may feel like, oh, part number 3, stubborn, but it's because you know yourself, you know your worth, you've got discernment, you've been in certain situations before, and you're not going to be played again. And with that type of energy, it commands respect. We also have, your environment is toxic. There are many people jealous of your position, your power, your authenticity, your essence. They may try and humble you, ignore you, but they cannot deny your light. Shine some more. Seek ways to not be around these low vibing individuals. Yeah, I feel like your energy is very powerful, very potent, very bright with the star card. You may have found that people, even family members, unfortunately, try to humble you, try to put you down. It's because they were jealous, because they felt like if other people see you, then you're going to get all the attention just by your energy alone. You could go into a party, you can go to a family function, all eyes are on you, all the attention's on you. It's this star quality, this otherworldly, bright, healing, gorgeous energy that just exudes power, exudes positivity. This is what you possess. It's innate. It's not something you can go to the shop and buy. And some people, and I feel it goes back to high school. If you got bullied, this is the reason why. These individuals couldn't say, oh, I think you got a bright light and I want it for myself. But they could see something was within you. And they could also see that you couldn't see what was within you. So they tried to make you feel that what you had was bad. And you started to treat yourself in the same way, not knowing that it was part of the plan for you to view yourself negatively because they viewed you so highly. Okay, so I feel like you are called to alchemize that if you're still going through that, especially with family. Even if you are around family that are negative, Spirit is saying they have to go. And it's easier said than done, but a lot of people try and drain this energy from you because they're jealous of it. Not everyone's jealous of it. Some people are, balanced, and they appreciate and respect your light because they have the same light too. Not everyone's the same, but they have similar traits and attributes like yourself and may have gone through the same type of situations like yourself. People being jealous, try to destroy them, attracting narcissists, etc. Right? But you have some people that, I'm just picking up family members, it could be partners as well, that will try and humble you. It's like they're angry for you being great, but you are great because you're supposed to use this talent to uplift, heal, inspire, and empower others. You could be quite well known in a community, your neighborhood, a group, club, organization. You could be social media influencers. You could have your own following. You're supposed to do this in this life, okay? But I feel like because you have spiritual abilities, you are able to sense these individuals, and hopefully you know where this type of negative behavior is coming from if it is projected onto you. So that's what makes you attractive. Your sense of discernment and I'm hearing the word magical abilities. I'm also hearing, I don't know if people will say your psychic abilities, but you know when to make the right moves. You know when to collaborate with others and not to. And you are a leader. You stand out, What makes you attractive is that some people may find you to be problematic. These are people that cannot manipulate you anymore. They may not like it because in the past they were able to get you to do things that you knew was not from your soul's growth. You knew that was draining you. And now that you're saying no, oh, power number 2 is problematic. Oh, they think they're nice. It's because you're standing in your power. So what makes you attractive is that you are strong and you are assertive as well. So even if people are not comfortable with it, they do respect it. So what makes you attractive is that you respect yourself. And because you respect yourself, people have no choice but to respect you. People may say, oh, power number 3 is rude. Did I say power number 2 before? You may want to go and check that one out. Power number 2 is rude. No, you speak up for yourself. You're not a doormat. People can't walk over you anymore. And you attract people that respect themselves as well. That's friends, that's family members, and that's also My sister liked my post on TikTok. You may want to go and follow me on TikTok. It's Lily Nick 1. But yeah, I feel like it's only those people that cannot manipulate you anymore or can't manipulate you. They will say these things, but people will find you to be, I'm picking up strong, like romantic suitors. This could also be business partners, friends, family members, those that, my sister, she's just commenting on my videos. I feel like, again, some of you could be social media influencers as well. I'm hearing that your social media influencers, influencing is going to grow a fan base, a community, a family. Especially if you came out of a family that weren't really nice to you, your followers will be like your family. You know, but again, going back to the fact, I feel like you are going to connect with people that are equally as strong-minded as yourself. People that have self-respect is what I'm picking up. We've got joy. You are very joyful. You are very joyful. You're very loving. You're very playful, very seductive as well. You could have long brunette hair. You may like to wear revealing clothes. You may like to wear your shoulders. You've got beautiful shoulders, beautiful calves, smooth skin is what I'm picking up. Earth angel vibes. You know, very voluptuous, whether you are slim or bigger in body. Joy is the highest energy of all. And because you are joyful, you radiate so much love, you know, because you're positive. What makes you attractive? Yes, you are physically attractive, but you are positive. You know, your beauty starts from within and it shines outwardly. And you can't duplicate that. You really can't, you know. And you heal yourself. And I feel like you are the generational curse breaker as well, par number 3. And maybe you may have seen a lot of broken homes growing up with your family. But you are going to be the one to create and keep your family. Because you're doing the work, you know. So we have joy. Joy is the highest energy of all. It's the magical sense that everything is possible. Joy springs from appreciating the gifts within each moment. Joy allows you to attract and create your present and future moments at their highest possible level. So you have, I'm hearing you are the eternal optimist. You have a very optimistic outlook on life, and it attracts a lot of abundance and positivity towards you because you are generally just a very pleasant and joyful person, okay? Play. Beloved one, it's time to set aside work for a while. Don't worry, we will oversee your responsibilities to their completion. Playfulness and laughter will lift your energy so that you return to work with a renewed perspective and heightened energy. Yeah, you are very highly energized, I should say. You are in touch with your inner child. You radiate a lot of joy, like I mentioned before. You are very creative as well, and that's what keeps you happy. And Spirit is saying continue with your creativity, you know, and keep shining your light wherever you go. Keep spreading your positivity. Keep spreading your positive outlook. Keep inspiring. Keep empowering. Keep pouring into yourself as well. Keep healing yourself, because healing is a never-ending journey. And the thing is, the more you heal yourself, the more love and light you exude, and the more positive opportunities and people you will attract. Yes, you're going to attract, you know, some low vibe and jealous individuals at times as well, but because of your discernment, you're able to swerve these individuals. But I feel like you have such an abundant energy and soul, and it's only right that you get the best out of this life, because you are so deserving of that. Now, part number 3, it's been an absolute pleasure. I will speak to you soon. Take care of yourself. Peace out.